Good morning. How's everybody? I told you I wasn't sure if I was going to be here yesterday, and I got held up at the doctor's office. Paperwork mess up. But believe me, you know, you're lucky you see me today that I'm not still sleeping. But anyhow, I'm here today, and if I show up Monday, it's going to be late, and I'm not going to do tomorrow. If anything, I'll do a live video tomorrow morning, but I don't think so. I have now, my plans have changed for tomorrow, last minute as usual. My wife has plans that she didn't tell me about, and although I don't want to do this, it's going to visit my father-in-law, and since we're both I'm approaching 80 and he's over 80, this might be the last time we see each other, so, that's why I'm doing it. I do shit like that. Don't ask me why, but I do. Alright? So, where do I begin? I don't know a lot about what happened yesterday. I haven't had a chance to look at the Epstein thing, other than the fact that they say they didn't give him everything that they did, that they were supposed to, I guess. I don't know. You can only sit around and I don't know what's supposed to be there. I don't know the whole... I know that, they're worried about Trump, and man, Bill Clinton's there. The only guy I know who's not in it is Obama. Half the Republican Party's in there, half the Democratic Party's in there. Movie stars, Michael Jackson's in it. He's been accused of pedophilia more than once, and I think there's probably a certain validity to that. And I know it's not nice to talk about people when they're dead, but I talked about him when he was alive. And I stopped watching what he was doing. I think he was an extremely talented man. I just don't like his personal attitude. So don't pay any attention to it anymore. So that's about, I never once doubted that Trump was in it. I mean, you have this tape of him walking down the street talking to a friend, and he's talking about if you have money and you're a celebrity, you can grab them by the pussy and they won't complain. I mean, what the fuck is going on there, all right? You don't believe this guy's a pedophile or a womanizer or just a sleazebag altogether? So, that's the Epstein thing. That's what I know about it. There wasn't much else going on yesterday as far as I could tell. Putin went on what did they say it was? 6-hour speech or something like that. And at the end of it, he was doing exactly what Trump does, complaining about no respect. And I'll tell you what my father told me. He didn't tell me a lot that I paid attention to. My mom said the same thing, and most of my older people I was associated with back then told me the same thing. Didn't always work out to be right, but it was the same. It was the sympathy, simply that you want respect, and that's what Putin was complaining about. He says, I got no respect. Ask Roger Dangerfield about that. But Trump's the same way. I don't get any respect. Well, respect is earned. And those two morons haven't done anything to earn respect. If it's possible that Putin has done a little bit more to earn respect at times than Donald Trump has. Trump is unsympathetic, on everything. He just doesn't believe in anything, and that's part of the problem there. So he's he's got some problems that I don't know if you can adjust them or not, address them or not, but he's got problems. So, respect is not something you're going to see they're going to get, because they have to earn it. It's not the old West where the fastest gun gets respect. And he does that with the world. He says, I can yell and scream, and I've got the best army in the world. You have a lot of untried soldiers, and you're purging the military of some of its best leaders, especially on the naval side, because they disagree with you. And they've been asked not to follow unlawful orders. You're not a king. You're not Hitler. You're not a dictator yet, although you're trying hard to be, Donnie. But I don't think you'll live long enough to do that, I think your personality is designed to ruin you. Your health is going to deteriorate, and you're going to be gone. Now, I don't know who's going to take your place or anything like that, but hopefully not Vance, because he's not as evil. He's dumber than the doornail, too, and he's an egotistical prick. All right? So, don't want that to happen. But, you've got to earn respect. That's what I was taught. I think it still works in today's world, But you don't know. I mean, what can I tell you? I ain't got no respect. But I haven't done a whole lot to earn it either, so I'm not worried about that. Moving on, they located the Brown shooter dead in a storage bin. That was the Brown University, and he also killed a professor at MIT. Apparently they said he was brilliant, and that brings up the old adage that there's, emotional and psychological extremes are very similar. Love is very close to being hate. Okay, they're very similar emotions. It doesn't take much to turn the other one into the other. Well, the same thing is apparently true with since I'm not a genius, I don't know this. IQ don't mean shit, folks. But anyhow, the degree of sanity and insanity in geniuses. You find a lot of these people are maybe not educated, but are considered to be, these people that go nuts are considered to be brilliant to some degree, And I don't know whether that means anything. They all usually end up dead or incarcerated for life. You want to talk crazy people? I don't know whether Manson should have been in the general public or not. I should have been in a state asylum, but, he died where he was supposed to die, but not the way he was supposed to die. But these people, they say they're geniuses, and they're evil. They're absolutely evil. Is that maybe that's what they, maybe there's some sort of truth to the fact that they made a pact with the devil, I don't know. I'm not sure I believe in that, but I do believe in people being born evil. Trump's a combination of the two, I think, when you talk about evil. I think he's inherited some of those qualities from his father, who was a, criminal, or it was his grandfather, I'm not sure which. But then it's not just environmental, it's hereditary and environmental in his case. Like I said, he inherited some of it in the environment that he was put into, which again is sort of like hereditary because it was his family background that he was put into and everything like that. Brought out the evil side of him, and I think that's the mental problems that he has. I'm sure if you studied his family history, you would find out why he became a narcissist. What brought that out to the degree it is today and whatnot. I think a lot of it's insecurity. But he loved the fact that he could do just pretty much whatever he wanted to with money. He learned that, I don't know exactly what age, but people with money learn that at an early age, that there are people out there that don't have money that will do anything you, pretty much anything you ask them to do for money. You know, sexually or otherwise. They'll sit there and tell you they won't, but if there's enough money involved, they will. Pretty much. I mean, there are some truly uncorruptible people, but those people aren't in power. You know, because they don't bend, but they don't bend in the right direction. If you understand what I'm saying, they won't bend to the corrupt side, but they'll bend. You know, and that's just unfortunate circumstances, but that's the way it is. You know, I don't really think that they understand life. You know. If you truly want to be successful in life, I'm not talking about employment or something. I'm talking about life experiences. You have to have a certain amount of empathy, compassion, sympathy, whatever you want to call it. And you have to know when you have to turn it off because the other person doesn't deserve it. And that's a hard thing to do sometimes. You know, you see that in wife abuse. You know, spousal abuse, wife and husband getting abused. They are so devoted to that other person that they can't turn off that side of their emotions, you know, and realize that this person is no good and walk away from it. A lot of times they end up, resorting to violence and whatnot, which is... It brings about a change in personality, but I think it's always in everybody else, that there's a certain level of violence that you have to control, and that every once in a while the other person pushes you too far, and you respond with violence, and you're the one that ends up in jail, and you're the one that ends up being punished and whatnot. So, be careful. Watch what you do, who your friends are. Be picky, it's okay. Make sure your relationships are two-sided, not one-sided. One-sided relationships will make you slightly insane. Trust me, I know. I'm more than slightly insane, so don't worry about it. Alright, here's another little story. Somebody's been talking that they believe J.D. Vance and his wife might be talking divorce and whatnot, which doesn't surprise me considering some of the things he said, and that he wants to change her religion and everything now, and all this other stuff. And I don't think I think hanging around with Trump and made him even worse than what he was before that. He might have been a very loving person prior to that, but he's not now. I don't think he is anymore. And I think his wife has compassion, and that's just not compatible. An asshole and a compassionate woman just aren't compatible. I don't know where the kids stand in that mess, but they're the ones that always suffer. The children are the ones that nothing's ever explained fully to them. It's explained in a one-sided viewpoint usually, and they develop neuroses, and they develop the same attitude and everything else. So it's kind of, I don't know. But that's the way it is, So if those rumors are true, sorry, JD, but you are an asshole. Alright, listen up. Here goes my schedule for the weekend. I'm going to be off tomorrow because I was going to because I wasn't here yesterday and everything. I was going to do an extra video this week tomorrow, but now I have things I have to go to that are a personal level, and I don't know what time I'm going to finish them, and I'm going to be running around in the morning and in the afternoon and everything, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really, 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 really pissed about this because there's some football games I want to watch tomorrow and I won't be able to. And my wife said, well, you can go, but she does that and then she talks bad about me when I'm not there, so I don't need that bullshit either. So I'll be there. I'll sit there. Nobody will talk to me, and I'll be bored for 2 or 3 hours, and then and I won't be able to walk properly tomorrow because the furniture in that house sucks. But what are you gonna do? All right, I got to see the guy. He won't. He'll say hello to me, and that's about all he'll say to me the whole time I'm there because he doesn't. We don't speak the same language. I don't care if it's Spanish or English. He doesn't. His family has trouble understanding his Spanish, so that takes care of that. Monday morning I'll be late, but I'll be here. I have a 9 o'clock doctor's appointment. Given that I probably won't get back to 10, that's when I usually go on the air to make the video. So I'll tell you what, on Monday, expect the videos to be about between 12 and 2. Someplace in there, all right? Posted one and a live one. It's the best I can do, or I don't do them at all, I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll wait and see. Excuse me. Tuesday's back to normal. Then we come up to Christmas Day, I don't know yet. I might just do a reading of some poem or something on Christmas Day, I don't know. Christmas Eve, I probably will, I'll probably do the night before Christmas or something like that, I start reading those things now, the Christmas stories and Christmas poems, because I love Christmas. Nobody around me loves Christmas, My problem is I still have a child's expectation. Give me clothes and I get pissed. Give me money and I get pissed. I want toys. Not adult toys, kids' toys. I'm regressing. But I love Christmas. I have to set up my train for one day before Christmas. I'll hopefully get around to it. I don't know whether I will or not. Which reminds me, I have to go wish a friend of mine Happy Hanukkah, but I'm done here. So anyhow, everybody hang loose. My schedule. No tomorrow. I can't do it. I want to, but I can't. Because I'm just not going to be around most of the day. Monday will be late, and then everything goes back to somewhat normal. We'll see what we're going to do with the holiday itself, All right, everybody, so go hit that subscribe button. I need it. I only got about 18 days left or something like that to make my 50 subscribers. I don't think I'm going to do that, but anyhow, everybody stay happy. Smile. It's Christmas time, folks. I hope you have nice weather. I have 80-degree humid weather, and it sucks, but, what are you going to do? I'll see you guys, when am I going to see you again? Sometime Monday afternoon, all right? Take care, everybody. Have a good weekend.